couple days ago, we came across a new look at Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. This remake was announced earlier in the year. I'm pretty sure some of you are familiar with it, and all we figured by the time is that the game was being made with the use of Unreal Engine 5 this time, in addition to just the fact that the same voice actors coming back. Anyway, if you were hyped about it just like I was, we got our first in-game in-engine look, pre-alpha footage of in-game footage, and that this thing is a next generation exclusive, possibly coming out by the end of 2024.
You're a softie after all. Yet you pretend not to care about anyone, don't you?
Mighty Boy Studio, that is actually the second studio that's being ran by Flying Wild Hog, Saber Interactive, and a few other developers, are all teaming up to bring a AAA, this time something called Babylon X. Now here's the premise. It says it's a new fantasy action RPG set in an alternative history of the ancient world where the Tower of Babel, or Babylon, is being built and the humanity is actually facing the impending apocalypse. Here, games combining Western and Eastern narratives. It's going to be coming to PCs and the next generation of consoles only sometime next year.
Shapes are important, but you need to feel them.
Oh, I felt that one.
Listen, you can run away from yourself as long as you want, but don't abandon those who are dear to you before it's too late.
Sorry I got you into this.
Wish we'd met earlier.
You can't escape fate, can you?
It's in your hands.
Realistic scopes and smoother locomotion, alongside our new and improved FPS radar and scanner that provides you an overview of the battlefield, but at the cost of ramping up your own emissions.
Moving on, we have Star Citizen's Squadron 42 campaign mod, which has been highly anticipated for quite a while. Man, that is a ridiculous 12-year period we're talking about. However, it seems to be happening later on in the following months, featuring a new cast and the promise to deliver an immersive and accessible gameplay experience for even the newcomers. Here's a trailer. It's a good one. Squadron 42 is coming to PCs only at the time of its release.
The story of Squadron 42 takes you through a variety of diverse locations of varying scales and styles. We shared glimpses of several environments before, and there's still plenty out there for you to discover. One of the main challenges the art team has had to face during the development of Squadron 42 is ensuring the visuals are complementary to the narrative of the script. The mood and feeling of a space is just as important to us as it is making sure we hit the visual quality that CIG has become known for.
Oh good, we can't hack it from this side. Graves, we've got a locked door. Can you give us access?
No, I'm afraid that's a negative, Steve. I would have to add you to our system to give you override permissions, and there's a lot involved in that. It won't happen quickly.
Okay, we'll figure something out.
Everything you see during the campaign has been heavily inspired by the classics of 70s and 80s sci-fi, but with a modern twist. We want everything you see to feel like it has a soul.
Focus Entertainment's latest game, however, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, is coming after also 12 years of wait since its original game for PCs and the next generation of consoles only, no longer by the end of the year, but early next year. If you're not familiar with the premise, in Space Marine 2, once again you will take on the role of Lieutenant Titus as he fights alien hordes in the name of the dystopian Imperium of Humanity. It's a third-person shooter hack and slasher, and this is how the game looks.
Light the way.
Coming up behind that, we have Soulframe, about 20 to 30 more minutes of in-game on the PlayStation 5 footage gameplay, coming from the same team who created Directed Warframe, which if you're new to is a fantasy MMO, an action RPG, a free-to-play game. The two games, however, have almost nothing in common except the gameplay elements of this one is a bit inspired by Warframe. The game takes place on a single large open world heavily influenced by nature, where you're going to be doing a lot of exploration and some Japanese fantasy.
예식장은 10년 만이네.
10년 전에 결혼하셨나 보죠?
그 해에 전국에서 5쌍이 했어요. 그 다음 해부터는 아무도 결혼 안 했고.
이런 환경에서 결혼해 아이까지 낳으셨다니 영웅입니다, K씨는.
Available on Steam through a demo and an early access phase at number 6, we have Axiom of Maria. This is an action-adventure third-person story-driven hack and slasher about a girl trying to get back her family from an AI in Seoul. That is a ghost town, that's not Korea apparently, that due to population declines being turned into this. It's a cyberpunk style, as you can see, even though in early access, definitely feels like it could be a full game. Here's how it looks. The game is right now taking you down $10.
아니에요. 우리가 있는 여기가 AI한테는 꿈인 거죠. 우리 깊은 곳에 남아있는 원시인처럼 AI의 무의식에 사람의 것이 남는 거죠 뭐.
저는 AI의 꿈을 돌아다니는 원시인인가요?
K씨 정도면 원시인이 아니라 꿈에 나타난 무서운 괴물 아닐까요?
고문이는 뭐해요, 정 선생?
모르겠어요. 조용한데요.
그래요, 정 선생. 미안해요. 통신이 잠깐 끊길 거예요.
뭐라고요? 슈트에서 통신을 어떻게 끊어요? 무슨 소리예요? 이봐요, K씨! K씨!
是 PUA。
在这儿呢，抓住他！
Coming up behind that, we have The Grass of Genesis. This is a survival-style action cinematic adventure, quite a bit inspired by the Tomb Raiders, or as people have been actually calling it lately, John Wick and Lara Croft's little baby, which also happens to be in the making for over 4 years. This game is now coming to PCs, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X at some point in the following year. It is actually partnering up with Sony Entertainment itself.
attacked while on a job. I got hit in the head, and when I woke up, I was in almost nothing but my birthday suit.
Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl will release around March next year, finally. A company that we got some more in-game footage, not just the footage. The game is gonna be coming out next year. It was rumored to be coming out December this year, but that is no longer an option. Anyway, the game is gonna be coming to PCs, Xbox Series X, remaining a Microsoft exclusive. It is, for those of you unfamiliar, a survival horror open world shooter and one of the longest delayed games ever. Take a look.
Here's your bolt.
Where the hell would I need a bolt?
Take a look around.
Crap.
Door! Open the door!
This has been a thing since there was rumors about the PlayStation 5. We've got here once again the much awaited Lost Soul Aside. This is a action hack and slash RPG PC to PlayStation 5 exclusive that's been in the works for almost 6 years now. I mean, it's almost as old as I started working on YouTube. Sony Interactive just came out with a little bit of in-game footage, more of that, and that the game is going to be coming out to PCs and both PlayStation consoles early next year. Revealed again about a week ago after a few months. At number 10, we have Kyborg or Kyborg. This is a fast-paced, story-driven action roguelite, almost a hack and slasher. Well, described by its developers as a mix of a brutal action game and an endlessly replayable roguelike, and a narrative-driven time management game in a dark science fiction setting. Here's a trailer. The game is coming to PCs and the PlayStation consoles only sometime next year.
After 3 centuries of the Tokugawa's repressive rule, the Black Ships appeared without warning.
Next up, we have Team Ninja's new IP ever since their last game. Assuming you're not keen to this one yet, the folks are bringing one more samurai-style game called Rise of the Ronin. This is a PlayStation 5 exclusive by Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo, promising a multi-layered story that showcases the Japanese 19th century Ronin's life, a rather simulation game. Here's how it looks. The game is going to be coming out early next year.
As your blades carve a new future. Your time has come. Rise as one.
He remembered Adelpha as a vast and beautiful ecosystem.
THQ Nordic just came out with another new trailer on Outcast 2, A New Beginning. They actually retitled the game to just plain old Outcast, A New Beginning, and said it'll be coming to PCs in the next generation of consoles only next year. If you're new to this one too, Outcast is a series of real-time strategies that started life about 25 years ago. It'll be a single player only now, clocking around 30 hours to beat, and this is how it'll eventually look.
A true hero starts his journey any place he chooses. and eventually makes a difference everywhere he goes. By influencing the balance, supporting the resistance, and defying the invaders with just the right strategy. In return, our planet would grant him the powers of the Yards. But you can't become a citizen of Adelpha and change our world without it changing you as well.
Announced almost a month ago, coming from the same developers of Amnesia, number 13, we have a brand new Unreal Engine 5 project here going by the name Still Wakes the Deep, but what the creators of which are calling a return to the first-person narrative horror genre, revolving around a offshore worker on an oil rig fighting for his life through a storm, just a cold, whilst there is also no lines of communication. Take a look.
Something that we fully encourage. Enemy design has also benefited from the integration of motion capture in our pipeline, expanded AI behaviors, and a little bit of weirdness to spice things up.
Moving on, we have from Italy. This has been a while since I've mentioned this one or seen anything remotely close. We have a Souls-like action RPG coming over by the end of the year going by the name Anatria, A Last Song. This game takes, or it's said to take place in a world based on Italian culture and folklore, adding a bit of a twist into Souls, which is a chaotic-driven, story-heavy Souls-like. I mean, this is how it looks, coming to PCs and next generation of consoles sometime next year.
Our direction. We now use bolder colors, more dramatic staging, and a much greater emphasis on environmental storytelling to be more in line with the genre expectations while still staying true to our Mediterranean core. An excellent showcase of this is Quinta, our opening area where we've tested out our new approach to really bring the City of Eternal celebration to life. We really can't wait till you can explore the diverse world of Anatria, from the Mediterranean beauty of the Philesian shores to the secrets tucked away in the shadowy depths of its grandiose architecture.
Everyone wears a mask! You too! This is a real face!
At number 15 from the PlayStation Showcase earlier in the year, this game's trailer was reviewed over 10 million times ever since. This was a beast of a reveal trailer. A quick mention over here, once again, we have Phantom Blade Zero, one of the top 10 most insane looking RPG hack and slashes we've come across since Black Myth, with Souls-like combats and a serious looking samurai that's dying to bring peace into the world on his last days, living and dealing with a disease. Here's how it looks in case you missed it.
Going where? This damn place! You're suicidal!
One last toast, and we're all done.
Welcome to your vacation within a vacation, where a cozy DIY lifestyle awaits.
Lucky Dragon Infinite Wealth will now launch both physically and digitally for the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PCs, and also the both generation of consoles on January 26 next year. Sega announced this, and that Ichiban and Kazuma is going to be in a larger-than-life journey across Japan and Hawaii, where you will experience one-of-a-kind combat with dynamic, fast-paced RPG battles, where the battlefield becomes your weapon itself, using a lot of over-the-top moves. Just take a look.
But beware of certain uninvited guests. You'll have to beat some sense into them to preserve your island kingdom. Explore nature. Build infrastructure. Interact with others. And develop your own resort island, your way.
About almost a year ago, we came across a brand new indie studio revealing what seemed to be their totally brand new, story-focused, Souls-like action RPG going by the name Nazra: The Fallen World. I've mentioned the game before. It's taking cues from Dark Souls, specifically Dark Souls 3, set in an open world with a heavier focus on atmosphere. As it looks, the game is coming to PCs only sometime next year. Game Science also just went on and launched the official Steam page for Black Myth Wukong. I've said this one like a week ago, this is just a quick reminder. The game is an action RPG hack and slasher, and you get to play as a son Wukong, or the famous Monkey King himself. Nothing big in terms of news, we just learned the game will be coming to the cloud gaming service too for PCs and the next generation of consoles in the third quarter of 2024. Dungeons of Hinterberg was announced also during the PC gaming show earlier in the year, and it's actually the first work of its developers. If you missed out on it, you definitely should check this out. It's a modern-day fantasy adventure take with the aim to put players in the shoes of an adventurer hitchhiker of a very artistic life and a very artistic game in nature, inspired by the Australian Alps. Here's how it looks. The game's in third person, it's going to be coming to PCs and Xbox Series X only. Described as a third-person roguelike shooter. Last but not least, we have Killer Bean. I think Killer Bean is the type of game that could potentially revolutionize some stuff. You see, the game is not only a roguelike shooter, but a procedurally generated mix of a Max Payne-inspired Grand Theft Auto and the fast-paced gameplay of all Just Cause games. And you play as a being. Here, game is coming to PCs only, we hear, sometime next year.